it's great knowing that you have players that can, knock down the shot just as much as you can. So like one more passes are like big for us because like I might have a great shot or a good shot, but if I make one more, I have a player that can hit it and it's a great shot. So it's good to know that um it's capable shooters no matter where you pass it to.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Run It Back here on KCSN. I am your host, Jazsmin Halliburton, back with another episode. And I was just telling Temira Poindexter, who is my very, very special guest today, that damn it, girl, I've been trying to get you on my show all season long, and it's finally come true. Thank you so much for being here. How you doing?
Good, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm off work. I can kind of chill out after this. So honestly, things are going swell. But you obviously Temira Poindexter on the show, Cheryl Miller Award candidate. I actually found out today when I was doing a little bit of digging. You can't talk about women's college basketball without talking about Cheryl Miller. So the fact that you're on that award watch list right now already. Once again, 2024 AAC Player of the Year, now a K-State Wildcat. That brings a huge smile to my face because, damn it, we know how good of a team this is.
Yeah.
Top 10 in the country, 19-1, top 5 in damn near every offensive and defensive category. Like it's looking really sweet. So, Temira, like, how is this all that you were looking for and expecting when you came to K-State?
I definitely knew like the stage here was a little higher from where I'm coming from, but I definitely like this is everything that I like picture, and I was just like really grateful to be able to be a part of the team that was already good and already were gonna do something great this year. So I'm just grateful that I got to be a part of it.
Absolutely. We are grateful that you are a part of it because you are another big part of why this team takes like a step further from what they were last season and everything beyond that. And of course, I already mentioned at least just a few of your accolades before coming to K-State. And of course, the expectations being here, a really good team, a team that was already good, like you said, coming in. We know the type of player that you were at Tulsa, the numbers that you were able to put up. Now you're on a team that 1 through 5 can give you a bucket. 3 deep on the bench at the very least can give people a bucket. How have you been able to kind of, get with the flow of this team offensively?
Definitely just taking it day by day. Learning into a whole new offense and just like a whole new philosophy. It takes a lot of time to just try to figure out your role. I'm still learning as we go on, and there's still a lot of things that I need to get better at and I can work on. But yeah, just being patient and just finding my role and just doing it to the best I can.
I mean, it seems like you're doing pretty damn good. You're averaging 13 points a game. Last 3 games, 57 points, damn near 50% from 3. It's like right now you're cooking in the role that you've been able to find. And you're talking about, I guess kind of that adjustment. What part of your game did you actually have to adjust the most coming into this team?
I would say kind of going into being more of a guard position, because at Tulsa I really wasn't. I mean, I was a guard, but I kind of leaned more towards the post side. But I think just coming in and playing kind of a guard position, both on offense and defense, it's been different.
Okay, different how? Because I mean, I know the competition level. We'll get into that because the Big 12 being what it is, but kind of dive in a little bit deeper about how different it is. Like, what really had you have to stay in the gym to work on?
Definitely like obviously like my shot, trying to get that down as good as I can. Because I feel like that's what I bring to this team. And just like I don't know, being on the perimeter a little bit more, just out there with the guards. So I don't know.
Hey, you see, like, hey, you already know a lot because this is like I mentioned before, the competition level, the Big 12. It it's a monster. It like, it really is. It's one of the better, obviously, Power Four. It's like all Power Fours. Anybody can get got essentially at any point in time on any nights. You've got to really be on your P's and Q's. So what is kind of the hardest part of adjusting to this Big 12 play?
Mm, I would say just like everything is much faster and like pace and just like you're playing against a really good team that has all 5 players that can score the ball. And I just feel like coming from where I came from, it may have been like one person on the team or maybe two. I feel like now it's like anybody. So everybody has to be locked in on defense. And it's definitely a team effort because not one person can, and just like the physicality, I feel like it's a lot stronger. Yeah, a lot bigger.
Do you kind of see that in officiating? Because sometimes, like how they officiate games during the non-conference
Yeah.
compared to the conference play, clearly that's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's we like I know we understand obviously a lot of new teams that's coming as well, just because how strong the Big 12 is. Like even hell, even when we still had Texas and Oklahoma, who was top 25 already, and being able to give some work to some as good SEC teams as well, and this conference still being as strong as it is. And you touched on defensively the physicality. How have you been able to kind of match that physicality in this league so far?
Um, kind of just like take what they give me. Um, they like I don't know, use my strengths against them. Like they may be stronger than me, but there's something I can do to use my strength to try to help that a little bit. I don't know.
Of course. I mean, I feel like you're obviously you're getting your opportunities even with this team leading so many offensive categories. The biggest one where we are for sure, where when you guys are for sure number one, is leading the country in assist. How do you feel? Because obviously Serena Sandel, Harina Sandel, that's that's what I call her on my show. What she's been able to do, the dime she's been able to hand out to everybody, and how that's really trickled down to essentially every player that gets the chance, to have minutes on this team. So, how do you think you've improved as a passer as well so far this season?
I think I have. I mean, um, it's great knowing that you have players that can, knock down the shot just as much as you can. So like one more passes are like big for us because like I might have a great shot or a good shot, but if I make one more, I have a player that can hit it and it's a great shot. So it's good to know that um it's capable shooters no matter where you pass it to. And yeah, I feel like I have improved a little bit.
Absolutely. So, I know this is a really good team. It was a good team last year, a good team this year, and it sucks for a lot of fans. But Yoki's unfortunately got that injury bug again. We hate that for her. Obviously, wishing her like the speediest of recoveries and everything. But it's a familiar position for this K-State team because it seems like almost a carbon copy of last year. 19-1, 14 straight, winner game winning streak. Everything's looking good, and one of your best players, unfortunately, gets hurt. So now that this is reached this point of the season, clearly a lot of experience on this team, even though you're one of the few, newer faces. How are you guys going to be able to kind of hold it down until she's able to come back and still kind of have that same success?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sucks that Yogi went down, but I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. So it's really just like next man up. And I definitely do feel like we have players that are capable of holding their own. And it's just going to take a lot of focus and in practice, just coming with the most focus and like intentional because we know that that's probably gonna hurt us, but it doesn't have to if we have our focus there.
Absolutely. And so I know this might be like a coach committee question, but I want to get your input too, at least until I can hopefully get him back on the show sometime soon. But you talked about your role, how you're still trying to figure it out a little bit. Do you think your role will change a little bit now in at least these next few games while Yoki's recovering?
Um, for sure. I mean, definitely in a way. I mean, I feel like everybody's role is going to change, and it may be a whole new game plan. I don't know. We'll see in practice, in these upcoming days what we're gonna do. Maybe a different plan, but I feel like everyone is gonna have to change their mindset and step up in a way
Of
throughout
course.
the whole team. Mhm.
I mean, and we've already seen that against Arizona State.
Mhm.
Like I mentioned before, even though Arizona State doesn't have the best record in the Big 12, I think they're 2-5 in the Big 12. Clearly a team that can catch anybody slipping if you allow them to. And and it got close a little bit there and in that game as well. The first true game to where you didn't have Yoki being that safety blanket, especially in the lane. So do you think how you guys were able to adjust on the fly in a game against a really scrappy team like Arizona State?
Yeah, I think Eliza, my roommate, she did a great job setting up. She didn't know it was new for her. At halftime, she's like, Coach Meady's like, you're gonna start this half. So it was brand new to her. And I think she did a good job with just handling it and just taking it in and just going out there and playing, hard and just filling in for Yoki. I think that's what was a big game changer for us right there. I mean, she did pretty good.
Eliza to me has always been low-key like the unsung hero when anytime she's able to get her minutes. Because we saw it last year in one of the first few games without Yoki. I think she scored 21 points against ranked Baylor on the road. We were like, wait a minute, we knew you had this, but I didn't know you had it like this at that point in time. And of course, she comes into the game, 6 points, 2 blocks, 3 assists, 5 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone coming off the bench, like you said, wasn't necessarily expected to be thrown into that role. But I mean,
Is ready to take
exactly. He's like, you true to this. You're not new to this. This is a team that has been on this type of time before. So it's really, really awesome to be able to see her step up like that. So
Yeah.
there's obviously a lot more games left to go before Yoki be able to, to step back in. So, who else, really will also have that opportunity, depending matchup wise.
I would say definitely Kennedy and Amani. They're the other two post players, like the true 5 players. I think they definitely have the potential or the game. They know what they're doing. They're experienced. So I know that they'll be able to do what we need them to do. I definitely believe they can. So I'm not worried about that at all.
For sure, for sure. And I'm glad you're not worried because that means you can set a lot of other K-State fans at ease. Because I know, like we mentioned before, I know you tired of being asked about playing the Big 12, and you all know how much of a big time conference that it is. But some tough stretch coming up. Really, Colorado unfortunately knocked out K-State last year in the tournament at home. That hurt. We have Iowa State. That's a rivalry. Kansas, that's a rivalry. And of course, TCU, in my opinion, is that's the biggest one circled as a fan for me because can be obviously you never know what could happen any night in the Big 12, but that seems like that could be a game that could decide, who's wearing the crown at the end of the season. Right. So only in your eyes, who's a team that you are most excited to go up against this season, if you haven't already?
I really think I don't know much about other teams, but just because I'm from Oklahoma, I would have to say OSU. I don't know, and they're kind of on a roll right now. I don't know, they were for a minute there. I kept seeing them everywhere, so I would say Oklahoma or OSU.
Oh, for sure. They were ranked last I checked. I didn't watch any of their games this weekend, so I don't know where they fell or if not. But they're 5-2 already in the conference, and we know and you don't go to sleep because someone's gonna be right there trying to kind of knock it off a little bit. But I'm glad that putting a lot of K-State fans at ease. Clearly, it's still being had. This is still a really good team that's compared to years past has found multiple ways to win. I mean, it's not always going to be, throwing the ball into Yoki and letting her do her thing. Now you know that you have players that can obviously shoot the hell out of the ball from beyond the 3-point line, but can still score at all three levels, right? So this is still clearly a very good team. But now I do want to ask you, because I saw you on the podcast with, what's his name, Mark Schindler on the They've Got Now. Really cool podcast, by the way. I've been especially breaking down plays and everything. And I know he kind of briefly talked to you about, the WNBA. First of all, do you actually have like aspirations of wanting to play in the W?
Absolutely do. I would love. I mean, that's a goal. That's the goal for me to get there.
Okay. So is there specific teams? I know there's a couple teams, new teams, coming up in the W. Is there like a specific team that that if you given the opportunity, that's the team that you would want to play for?
Honestly, I would be grateful to go to any of one of them.
Of course.
I mean, I couldn't think of a specific team.
Well, I'm gonna be selfish because my favorite team is the Las Vegas Aces. I'm a big
I like them. Was
love Asia, and I'm from Dallas, so I have to cheer for the Dallas Wings. Enrique, hopefully getting Paige Beckerts and everything like that. So, I mean, how has obviously what you've learned playing in Tulsa and what you've learned so far playing with this team, how do you think that could prepare you for that next level to hopefully get to the W?
Yeah, I mean, Tulsa definitely was an experience for me. I mean, even if I left, I definitely learned a lot of things from there. And then moving here to Kansas is definitely like a bigger step for me. So I feel like, first of all, my move here could be helpful for me because Tulsa wasn't really like, it was like a mid-major, so it was really small, and that's where I'm from. I was like really comfortable and just like I felt like really stagnant there. So moving here, I feel like I definitely took a step forward, and I'm learning a lot of new things and experiences and like this big stage. So hopefully this can help me in like the next stage of just, being away from home finally and like meeting new people and just like making connections.
Absolutely. So, but you talked about, being stagnant or feeling like stuck. Talk about, because I know that's obviously very scary to just leave your comfort level to, go into the transfer portal. You'll never know how things work out or don't work out. Talk about kind of your mindset when you were, in terms of trying to make that decision of whether you wanted to stay or whether you wanted to, test the waters a little bit.
It definitely was very hard for me. Like, that was like one of my first offers, and it was like in my hometown. So yeah, it was definitely hard for me to leave, but I kind of just knew that I had to. I feel like I grew, but I feel like I was at my maximum level of growth, and I just needed to be around something different in order to grow a little bit. People I don't know, brand new everything. So I just felt like that was what I needed, and I just did it. And yeah, so
See, I know job's not done, but so far so good. You making your way over here. Yeah. Now, probably one of my last questions, and I know it's slightly random, feel all over the place, but something else that you briefly touched on with Mark and They've Got Now about the NBA, about you don't watch as much anymore. Yeah, I see your face. And why do you? Because it's the question that's been probably going around a whole bunch. Is like the viewership of the NBA kind of going down, and I know I over the years have watched a little bit less of it. and a lot of people have. So, as an actual ball player, I would like to know your opinion on why do you think the viewership of the NBA has gone down a little bit?
For me personally, I honestly just love like the women's basketball is just like I feel like it's easier to watch, it's funner to watch. I mean, I don't want to sound like, but women, we can't
It's more
jump
fundamental.
high, we're not strong and we can't dunk. So we really have to like, work for everything that we do. And I feel like we make it fun and it's like the energy in it, and I don't know, I just feel like I enjoy it more. I love college basketball. So
I like I like, in I'm picking up what you're putting down. I really it's the women's game obviously more fundamentally sound. Like you said, you can't truly rely like on athleticism or jumping high or because you're 7'5". No shade to Wimby. And like we're like no shade to Wimby at all. But no, when you see you know women players fighting down low to get a rebound compared to the men, you see them lose games on that all the damn time. When the answer was like, bro, just box out. And they don't do that. I know I've screamed at the TV so many times. I'm like, you could have just boxed out. Why are you screaming? So, but no, but I understand. I understand exactly, what you're putting down. Everybody essentially has the same thoughts. I know everybody thinks they're an expert at basketball, and I know, hell, I know I'm not. I could admit it, but I mean, at least we hear on essentially on why things are going down a little bit. But Samara, I thank you so much for being able to come on the show. Hopefully, I can have you on again at some point this season for sure. That'd be amazing. I definitely want to get more players because damn it, it's hard getting y'all. But I'm still pulling y'all along. I want as much as y'all on my show as possible. But really, truly appreciate you being on here.
thank you so much. I had so much fun.
Thank you. And all right, y'all, that's going to be it for Run It Back. Once again, a huge round of applause for Temira Poindexter taking time out of her day to come and talk to me and to talk to y'all. So really appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all right back on Run It Back next week.